Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of one of America's most revered figures, Abraham Lincoln. His legacy continues to inspire millions. And in the next 2 minutes, we'll explore his life and impact. Early life. Born on February 12, 1809, in a humble log cabin in Kentucky, Lincoln faced numerous challenges in his early years. He had limited formal education, but his voracious appetite for reading and learning set him apart. His early life shaped his values of hard work and perseverance, which he carried throughout his career. Political rise. Lincoln entered politics in the 1830s, serving in the Illinois state legislature and later the U.S. House of Representatives. However, it was his strong stance against the expansion of slavery that propelled him to national prominence. In 1860, he was elected the 16th President of the United States, leading a nation on the brink of civil war. Leadership during the Civil War. Lincoln's presidency was defined by the Civil War, a conflict that threatened to tear the nation apart. His dedication to preserving the Union was unwavering, and he issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, declaring freedom for all enslaved people in Confederate-held territory. This bold move not only changed the course of the war, but also laid the groundwork for the abolition of slavery. Legacy. Tragically, Lincoln's life was cut short when he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth on April 14, 1865. His vision of equality and unity lives on, making him an enduring symbol of hope and resilience. As we reflect on Lincoln's legacy, let us remember his profound words today. We're diving into the life of one of America's most legendary figures, George Washington. Known as the father of his country, Washington's impact on the United States is profound and enduring. Early life. George Washington was born on February 22, 1732. in Westmoreland County, Virginia. Growing up in a plantation family, he learned the values of hard work and leadership early on. As a young man, he worked as a surveyor and developed a strong understanding of the land and its people, which would serve him well in his future endeavors. Military leadership. Washington's military career began when he was appointed as a lieutenant colonel in the Virginia militia. His leadership skills truly shone during the American Revolutionary War, where he was appointed as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. Despite facing numerous challenges, including shortages of supplies and training, Washington's tenacity led to crucial victories, most notably at the Battle of Yorktown, which ultimately secured American independence. Presidency and legacy. After the war, Washington was unanimously elected as the first President of the United States in 1789. His presidency set many precedents, including the formation of a cabinet and the tradition of a 2-term limit. Washington's farewell address warned against political factions and foreign alliances, emphasizing unity and the importance of democracy. George Washington passed away on December 14, 1799. But his legacy lives on. His commitment to the principles of liberty and democracy continues to inspire generations. Martin Luther King Jr. We're honoring the legacy of an extraordinary leader. Martin Luther King Jr. His unwavering commitment to justice and equality has left a profound impact on the world, and his message continues to resonate today. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. Growing up in a deeply segregated society, he experienced firsthand the injustices faced by African Americans. Inspired by his parents and the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi, King developed a passion for social justice and nonviolent protest. In the 1950s, King emerged as a prominent leader in the civil rights movement. He became the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference (SCLC) and organized peaceful protests to challenge racial segregation. His leadership during events like the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955 showcased his belief in nonviolence, and civil disobedience. One of King's most iconic moments came during the 1963 March on Washington, where he delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. In front of over 250,000 people, he shared his vision of a future where people would be judged by their character, not the color of their skin. This speech became a defining moment in the struggle for civil rights. King's efforts contributed to significant legislative changes, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. His commitment to equality and justice earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, making him the youngest recipient at that time. Tragically, Martin Luther King Jr.'s life was cut short on April 4, 1968, when he was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. His death was a devastating loss for the nation, but his legacy of courage and compassion lives on. Today, we remember Martin Luther King Jr., not just for his remarkable achievements, but for the values he stood for: equality, justice, and peace. His legacy continues to inspire countless individuals to fight for a better world. Today, we're diving into the life and legacy of one of the most influential figures in American history, Eleanor Roosevelt. From her role as First Lady to her work in human rights, Eleanor's impact is profound and enduring. Eleanor Roosevelt was born on October 11, 1884, in New York City. She came from a prominent family. Her father was a businessman, and her mother was a socialite. However, her childhood was not without challenges. Her mother died when she was just 8 years old, and her father struggled with alcoholism, which led to his death shortly after. These early experiences shaped Eleanor's character and instilled in her a sense of empathy and determination. In 1905, Eleanor married her distant cousin, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Together, they had 6 children. When Franklin became president in 1933, Eleanor transformed the role of First Lady. She was not content to be a mere figurehead. Instead, she became an active participant in politics and social issues. She held press conferences, wrote a daily newspaper column titled My Day, and traveled extensively to advocate for various causes. Eleanor was a champion of civil rights, women's rights, and the rights of the poor. During the Great Depression, she worked to improve conditions for those affected by poverty. She famously said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent," which became a rallying cry for many. After Franklin's death in 1945, Eleanor continued her advocacy on an even larger scale. She was appointed as the United States delegate to the United Nations, where she played a crucial role in drafting the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. This document remains a cornerstone for human rights worldwide. Eleanor Roosevelt passed away on November 7, 1962. But her legacy lives on. She is remembered not only as a First Lady, but as a tireless advocate for social justice. Her belief in the dignity of all people and her dedication to public service inspire countless individuals today.